Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. Hope all of you are preparing well with your full dedication and just for the Civil Services examination. This is a video session on daily news and editorial analysis dated 3rd of October. Through this video session, we'll be looking into the important news and editorial for the day that would be relevant for the Civil Services examination. And this session will definitely be fruitful for all the aspirants who are appearing for the Civil Services examination. So before I begin with the discussion, just to give you the highlight and the glimpse of the news that I'll be discussing with you for today. For today, the first important news is about the Medicine Nobel Prize 2023 that has been awarded. We'll see the details about this. The second important news talks about the Indian Air Force inducting Astra BVR air-to-air missile. You see the details and technical aspect of this as well. The third important news talks about WHO approved the use of malaria vaccine with the adjuvant technology which has been incorporated in the manufacturing. The second last important news is about the edible oil which has suffered a big loss due to the import surge. And we'll conclude this session with the editorial that talks about building bricks for the future, its roads, its prospect, the inclusion of the new member, how it will impact the overall structure of the mix. We'll see the details in the editorial discussion. So without any further ado, let's get started with a detailed discussion of the editorial and other news. So the first news that is about the Nobel Prize in the medicine, something very important for your examination. If you're preparing for any other competitive examination also, there this will be relevant. So this particular Nobel Prize is a Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine that has been awarded to Kathleen Caribou and Drew Weissman. These two names are very important and they have made their breakthrough contributions in the development of mRNA vaccine. So what is a vaccine? This is mRNA vaccine which they have actually developed, and COVID-19 के टाइम ये काफ़ी significant और important role अदा किया इसने. So this is all the main contribution of the Kathleen Caribou and Drew Weissman. Now the other details about the development of mRNA vaccine. How does it develop? क्या procedures होती हैं and when it was actually in formation. So discoveries की अगर बात करें, these two Nobel laureate has been creating the mRNA vaccine, right? mRNA vaccine India में भी आई थी, and these vaccine has helped a lot during the COVID-19. COVID-19 के time it has played a very significant role. इसकी starting हुई थी early 2020 से, right? Now it's a vitro-produced mRNA that is seen with the dendritic cell, foreign material that caused them to be deactivated and release the inflammatory signal molecule. So I'll tell you with the image that how does the actual things functions when it comes to mRNA. So first we'll see the future, then we'll come to the discussion of the mRNA vaccines and its evolvement. So future की अगर बात करें, mRNA is a vaccine that has been established for safety profile, specifically safety profile के purposes से बनाई गई है, and mRNA vaccine has been targeted with COVID-19 and disease like HIV and Zika, right? Across the globe अगर बात करें HIV और Zika की cases काफ़ी ज़्यादा report किए गए हैं, उस context में mRNA जैसी vaccine काफ़ी हद तक relevant होती है. So this can again be relevant for prelims examination. आपसे पूछा जा सकता है कौन कौन से diseases में mRNA की vaccine की uses होती है. They are also used in the cancer immunotherapy, training the body to recognize the cancer cells. And mRNA technology is cost effective, safe, and does not alter DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, and showing the promise to the future treatment also. Now this is where the mRNA is and how does it actually work. You'll get a precise idea that how does the mRNA vaccine actually work in the human body. So this is a mRNA, right? The vaccine enter the cell and tell them to produce the coronavirus spike protein. So this is something which spike protein look like, and the body, the individual who has been incorporated with the mRNA vaccine, they activate their T cells. So T cells are something which is related to the part of immunity. अगर immunity की बात करें तो T cell का काफ़ी अहम रोल है, और HIV जैसे केसेस में ये T cell पूरी तरह से डेटोरेट कर जाती है. Now there's a spike protein which is there, and if the patient later catches the coronavirus, the antibodies, the T cell trigger and fight against the virus. So it has already replicated. You can see these are the T cells which has already been formed in the human body, and if any foreign particle comes or enter into the human body, it can fight and trigger the immune response. So this is how the mRNA vaccines actually work in a human individual. Now, Nobel Prize award की अगर बात करें, as we are discussing about the prize also, so it actually started in 901 and this was named after the Swedish inventor and philanthropist Albert Nobel, right, in 1885, where he was celebrating those names conferred with the greatest benefits to the mankind. ऐसे individual, ऐसी discovery जो mankind के लिए dedicated है, उस केस में Nobel Prize को दिया जाता है. The award in the physiology or the medicine is given to a significant discovery of either biology or the medicine. On Nobel Prize की अगर बात करें, this has been given for the discovery which is profoundly benefited to humanity, even the altered course of science, lifetime achievement and positions in the leadership is not eligible. सो काफ़ी ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. अगर नोबेल प्राइजेस की बात करें, डिफरेंट डोमेन्स में नोबेल प्राइज भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट की जाती है. दिस वाज स्पेसिफिकली विद रिगार्ड्स टू मेडिसिन एंड फिजियोलॉजी. Now, moving ahead with the other news, Indian Air Force ने decide किया है that they will be inducting Astra BVR air-to-air missile. This will be again important in augmenting the overall functioning of Indian Air Force, right? कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन की गई है बिटवीन द भारत डायनेमिक्स लिमिटेड, वी कॉल इट BDL, और इसके थ्रू जो इंडिजिनस एस्ट्रा मिसाइल्स हैं वो इंडिया में लाई जाएंगी बाय द एंड ऑफ 2023. दैट इज दिस पर्टिकुलर ईयर. Now the other details that you need to know about the Astra missile, it's a state-of-art BVR air-to-air missile. Now this is a one point to be noted. This is air-to-air missile, right? This can be relevant for all the aspirant who are appearing for CAPF examination. वहाँ पे डायरेक्ट सवाल आपसे इस तरह के पूछे जा सकते हैं. And it can have a range of over 100 kilometers engaged to destroy the maneuver and supersonic target. So what is the range? The range is 100 kilometers, right? Now it is designed and developed by DRDO. This is another important point to be noted. और जो DRDO के research lab है, that is Research Center Emirate, RCI कहते हैं, that the collaborations is there between the DRDO. Now Astra is the indigenous beyond visual range air-to-air missile जो कि Tejas compact, खास करके जो Tejas light compact aircraft है, LCA कहते हैं उसे, उसके थ्रू भी यूज की जा सकती है, right? And Astra is fully integrated with Sukhoi 30 MKI, which actually the Indian Air Force is using as of now. So compatibility को देखते हुए Astra missile can be used either in Tejas or in the Sukhoi 30 MKI. Now, some details that is relevant for you to be known about the Astra. You should know the details. First, the meaning is weapon. It's in Sanskrit, it's weapon. And range is 70, although I've told you that it has a range of 100 km, which is an augmented version. Speed is about 4 times 5, right? It's an all-weather beyond air-to-air missile system. Indigenously designed and developed by DRDO. This can be relevant for many other competitive examination also. It's a first ever BVRN, that is beyond visual range to air missile, and it can locate the target at different altitude. So whatever altitude might be, it can locate it, right? So this is how the Astra actually functions. Now supply of Astra missiles की बात करें, as I've told you that the completion will be done by 2023. So how does it will function? So Defense Ministry ने sign किया है deal, that is for the BDL, so supply for Astra Mk1 missile that is equipped, and it will help not only Indian Air Force but also the Indian Navy. So Indian Navy को भी help करेगी. And even they reported that, they reported in Hindu that Indian Air Force has expressed their satisfaction for the Astra performance, जो कि काफ़ी हद तक MK2 के साथ जो 200 MK1 light compact aircraft है उनके साथ भी capable है. This is something which will be an added advantage for both the forces. Now moving ahead, WHO ने approve किया है R21 malaria vaccines को. This is again something important that will call for the another line of defense for malaria. And malaria is a cases where India has been reported that, I mean, the number of the cases is pretty on the higher side. So WHO has announced that their R21 is a common name. It is known as a matrix malaria vaccine to prevent specifically in children. जो children में होती है malaria, उनको prevent करने में बहुत हद तक मदद करेगी. Now we'll see the details about the R21 matrix malaria vaccine. So it's a vaccine that is developed by University of Oxford. University of Oxford ने इसे डेवलप्ड किया था विद कोलैबोरेशन विद द सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडिया विच इज इन इंडिया. दे आर बेस्ड इन पुणे, राइट. सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट के नाम आप सभी लोगों को पता होगा. दे हैव बीन लिवरेजिंग द टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ नोवावैक्स विद द एडजुवेंट टेक्नोलॉजी विच इज क्रिटिकल, जहाँ पे ऑलमोस्ट हाफ ऑफ द मलेरिया केसेस से एनुअली डेथ की जा रही रिपोर्ट की गई थी एंड दिस वाज रिपोर्टेड मीन ग्लोबली. तो ये बहुत ही ज़रूरी है कि इस तरह के केसेस में जो R21 मैट्रिक्स वैक्सीन है दैट विल बी हेल्पिंग इंटायर ग्लोब जिस कंट्रीज में भी केसेस आएंगे. The R21 matrix vaccine is the mark for accumulations of 30 years of the malaria vaccine research by the University of Oxford Jenner Institute. So Jenner Institute is based as a center in the University of Oxford और ये इन्होंने research की है over 30 years. So now the time has come where they are actually utilizing the part. Now R21 matrix vaccine has been easily deployable and can be manufactured at mass scale at the modest cost. सो अगर कॉस्ट की बात करें स्पेसिफिकली, सी कॉस्ट इज अ वन थिंग विच कंपनीज लुक इनटू कंसिडरेशन और जिसकी वजह से फिर प्राइजेस में भी जो मार्केट प्राइजेस उसमें वेरिएशन आती है. बट सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट ने कहा है कि इसके जो प्राइजेस हैं दैट इज अफोर्डेबल एट द मॉडेस्ट रेट, तो बहुत ज़्यादा हायर अमाउंट पे से एमआरपी पे सेल नहीं की जाएगी. नाउ प्रोडक्शन टारगेट की बात करें, दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली कमिंग आउट ऑफिशियली फ्रॉम द सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडिया. They have already established the production slate of 100 million doses a year and they will double it in the next 2 years. तो आने वाले 2 साल में इसे डबल की जाएगी which will be close to 200 million doses. And the scale of production is critical because malaria in India is reported at the high risk. अगर मलेरिया के केसेस की बात करें, इंडिया में केसेस रिपोर्ट किए जाते हैं and to protect it we definitely require a vaccination, a proper dose of vaccination, and to meet that production, to meet that requirement we need a production which should be at the highest. Now the other news, that is edible oil firms suffer big losses amid the import surge. So this is in context that there is a marginal increase in the edible oil price in the September quarter. You just need to know the trend. कई बार जो इकोनॉमी फंक्शंस की अगर बात करें, इवन जिस तरह से रशिया और यूक्रेन के बीच में वॉर चल रही है, उस कंटेक्स्ट में आपको समझने की जरूरत है हाउ द इन्फ्लेशन कैन बी इम्पैक्टेड, राइट. सो दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज आल्सो रिलेटेड टू द पार्ट ऑफ इन्फ्लेशंस. नाउ एडिबल ऑयल इंपोर्ट की बात करें, देयर हैज बीन सर्ज इन द एडिबल ऑयल इंपोर्ट एंड नोटेबली द पाम ऑयल व्हिच इज मोस्टली यूज्ड इन द कंट्रीज. नाउ इंडिया में कंपनी है अडानी विल्मा व्हिच इज अ ब्रांड दे आर होल्डिंग इज फॉर्च्यून, राइट. मोस्ट ऑफ यू मस्ट बी अवेयर. तो इनकी नेट लॉसेस भी रिपोर्ट की गई है 79 crore rupees, which was for the financial year 2024, and company quarter review has been actually 20% less. So this is the performance because of the high surge, and despite 25% of the volume, 1.99 million ton and 1.4 million ton of the period was seen as the part of the volume rise that was witnessed. Now the share of domestic edible oil, that is India की अगर बात करें specifically इंडिया में किस तरह की consumption high है, 40% goes for mustard, then we have soybean oil for 24%, groundnut oil 7%, उसके बाद other oils. तो ये इंडिया में कुछ detailed है. First is mustard oil, then we have soybean oil, then groundnut oil and other oil follows accordingly. Now import duty की अगर बात करें, this has been seen effectively. अगर import duty has been there, so the crude oil is 5.5%, then the refined oil is 13.75%. So you can see the difference of the prices that is there, and government is taking a tightrope. Government ने specifically अगर central government की बात करें, they are doing it, and the government has said that the international prices is fluctuating. Why it is fluctuating? This is fluctuating because of Russia and Ukraine war, right? Because Ukraine is supplying most of the sunflower oil करें या सोयाबीन ऑयल की बात करें, काफ़ी ज़्यादा वहाँ से आती है, जो कि एक डिस्टॉर्शन हुई है जिस वजह से ओवरऑल सप्लाई चेन में भी डिस्ट्रप्शंस हुई है. The Solvent Extractor Association has an apex body which said that the edible oil companies have urged the government to increase the effective import of the crude oil from the edible oils. तो refined edible oils की prices इस वजह से भी बढ़ी है, import की डिमांड बढ़ी है, बट जो सप्लाई गैप है that is on the lower side. Now moving ahead with the editorial for the day, that is building bricks for the future. This is the editorial which is again something relevant in the context of BRICS future. BRICS के अगर expansions की बात करें, you must have come across the part of expansion जहाँ पे 6 new member increase किए गए हैं BRICS में, right? So we'll see the details how the expansion of the BRICS is going to help. Now, what are the issues that I'll be discussing with you in this context? So first, we'll see the economic compulsions, the India-China relations, और इस context में BRICS के context में क्या चीजें समझने के लिए है. Search for alternative and consistence of the future. जो content of the futures है, I mean the new development that is for the BRICS that is coming with the already there are 5 members और इसमें 6 member और add किए गए, right? So it's 11 member BRICS, how it will actually functions. Now, recently, the 15th BRICS summit हुई थी. This was the 15th BRICS summit meeting, which took place in Johannesburg. 5-member group. Abhi, as of now, the present group include Brazil. Brazil is the one. Then we have Russia, followed by India. Then we have China and South Africa. So these are the BRICS country. इन्होंने 6 और न्यू कंट्रीज को इंक्लूड करने की बात की है. This 6 country include Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Argentina, right? So these are the countries that will be including in the BRICS, making it a 11-member group, right? So this is again important. आपको हर एक country के नाम पता होना चाहिए. This can be directly relevant for the prelims examination. Now, economic compulsion की बात की गई है. कई ऐसे aspects हैं जो मैं आपको बताऊंगा इसमें. So first is the economic compulsion. I mean, here the BRICS emerged as an economic compulsion. How? Because BRICS में किसी भी तरह की मिलिट्री और सिक्योरिटी सपोर्ट नहीं की जाती है. ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक रिलेटेड जो इश्यूज हैं, पॉलिसी रिलेटेड इश्यूज हैं, उनको कैटर करती है एंड डज नॉट प्रोवाइड द पीस कीपर्स, राइट? वाइल द कंबाइंड जीडीपी अगर देखें खास करके ब्रिक्स के मेंबर्स की, दिस इज 36% ऑफ द ग्लोबल ट्रेड and 47% of the world population it will be touching by 2050. These are at the present. मैं सिर्फ ये 5 members की बात कर रहा हूँ, not the including the 6 members. These are not included in the state. Now then we have India and China. So these two countries do not have a good symmetry or bilateral relationship. तो इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में जिस तरह से 1/3 of world population को कैटर कर रहे हैं, उस समय ग्रुपिंग के पास इन दोनों कंट्रीज के साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं है. द कंट्रीज आर द फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी एंड द टॉप 3 ऑफ द वर्ल्ड बाय 2030, राइट? वाइल इंडिया एंड चाइना इन टर्म्स ऑफ बायलैटरल रिलेशनशिप वी हैव अ डाउन टर्न. अगर बात करें लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल ईस्टर्न लद्दाख रीजन में, द थिंग्स आर नॉट देयर. एंड इवन फॉर डोकलाम, अगर डोकलाम रीजन की बात करें, दिस हैज बीन कंटिन्यूड सिंस 2017 वेयर the things has not feasibly worked out. Military level की talks almost 18 commander level की talk हुई है, but उसमें भी कोई सक्सेस इंडिया को नहीं मिली. Now search for an alternative. What can be the alternatives? See, I mean polarizations की बात करें, US is something which has been doing this for other part of the world. तो global tensions को कम करने के लिए जो ट्रम्प के एरा में हुई थी, specifically between the US and China, dispute has been included. Trade restrictions भी बढ़ी थी. उस चीज को काउंटर करने के लिए चाइना के प्रोग्रेस को करा, I mean, for the communication infrastructure and electric mobility, it is very important to seek for an alternative where no country should have a dominance. Now, country can explore the alternative like non-aligned movement amid the Cold War, sparking the interest for the membership application. अगर आप BRICS की बात करें, right? If you see BRICS, it is already a 5-member country. Inclusion of the 6th member will make it more strengthened और किसी एक country के dominance नहीं बनेगी. It will have a equality for all. Now, BRICS expansion promised for the new trade investment and akin to the existing economy bloc. So this is how the search for an alternative bloc, search for an alternative forum is actually coming up in the name of BRICS. Now, continuum और continent of the future, अगर बात करें ये जो BRICS की grouping बनी है, किस तरह से ये कंटिनेंट ऑफ फ्यूचर हो सकती है. सी फाइनली जो कंटिनेंट है वो प्रॉमिस करेगी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ के लिए इन द अफ्रीका. व्हाई? बिकॉज अफ्रीका इज अ वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट कंपोनेंट. और यहाँ पे ये पॉजिटिविटी के तौर पे भी देखी जा सकती है, वेयर द अफ्रीकन नीड टू एक्चुअली दे आर ट्रेवलिंग टू चाइना बिकॉज ऑफ रिस्ट्रिक्शन फ्रॉम यूरोप एंड यूएस. सो दे आर टेकिंग चाइना एज अ रोल मॉडल, राइट? एंड अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज कंटिन्यू टू टॉक अबाउट द फ्रीडम एज दे need to choose partner and investment on the trade. So they will definitely look for China for an alternative. And India proposed full membership for African Union in the G20 summit. जो G20 summit इंडिया में हुई है दिल्ली में, वहाँ पे अफ्रीकन यूनियन को इंक्लूड किया गया है, मेकिंग इट अ मोर सिग्निफिकेंट पार्ट, जहाँ पे G20 अब G20 जो है वो G21 मेंबर्स के नाम से जानी जाएगी. So these are the major achievements. So you can relate the part of BRICS. अगर BRICS और G21 की बात करें, so this can be an important questions in the general studies paper. और those who are having the PSI as an optional, उन बच्चों के लिए भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा relevant और significant topic है. Moving ahead with the answers discussion, जो 30th सितंबर के जो सवाल थे उसके करेक्ट ऑप्शंस और आंसर मैं आपको बताऊंगा. फर्स्ट द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज सी. मैंने आपसे शांति निकेतन के बारे में पूछा था. दिस इज इन द बीरभूम डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल. यूनेस्को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट में इसे दर्ज किया गया है. दिस वॉज स्टैब्लिश्ड बाय द नोबेल लॉरिएट रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर. और शांति निकेतन एक रेजिडेंशियल स्कूल है जो कि कल्चर और सारी चीज़ें ट्रेडिशन को डेवलप करने के लिए बनाई गई थी. वर्ल्ड यूनिवर्सिटी, राइट. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज सी. नाउ द सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, उसके लिए भी करेक्ट ऑप्शन है सी. सी अर्चिन के बारे में मैंने आपसे पूछा था. दीज आर द स्पिनी स्किन्ड एनिमल. दे आर नोन फॉर द एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिज्म. दे आर स्पेरिकल, स्प्लिंडल बॉडी होती है, फाउंड इन ओवरऑल, एंड दे हैव लिफ्टेड इन हैबिटेट की बात करें डीप सी हैबिटेट्स होती है. They reside in the ocean floor, mainly in the hard surface, and move using their spines. So these are the details about the sea urchins. Today's MCQ for practice, आज के जो सवाल हैं उसके करेक्ट ऑप्शंस आपको कमेंट सेक्शन में बताने हैं. डू पार्टिसिपेट, राइट योर आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन डाउन बिलो. So the first question is about the Mukurti National Park. It was established as a safeguard flagship species for the Nilgiri Thar. Preka River traverses the park and it has been named as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So you have to choose the correct option. This type of question change pattern is there in the UPSC examination. So accordingly आपको भी उसी parameters पे, उसी pattern पे practice करने की ज़रूरत है. The second question of the day is about, consider the following statement about the galactic tide. The tide force field objective and assert as a galaxy gravitational field. It has an ability to modify and disrupt the star systems. So you have to choose the correct option, whether A, B, C or D is correct, and accordingly you can mark your answer in the comment section down below. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other queries about test series, programs, admissions, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying connected.